Howdy, howdy, folks. So we're just going to quickly start down in my back room. Now, me and Clive, who is Clive from Newland Model Railway, we're forever messaging each other. He knows what sort of stuff I'm looking for, and I know what sort of stuff he's looking for. And as we're scrolling through the internet and we see something on sale or, a bundle like this, we'll message each other. Now, he did message me this, so thanks to Clive. There was 2 bundles. I'm considering getting the other one because, well, you're not going to believe me, but Clive can back me up because he was the one that sent me the link. And I was sent an offer, £20. 20 quid for this lot. I like on this one, the interior is missing. There was, in the shop sort of details. This one's got it in. But they're in far better condition than I actually thought. This one here, Jadlin Racing have got exactly the same building. Yeah, it's new, £54. But I got this, all 6 buildings for 20 quid. Even if you said, because they're roughly, around sort of £40 a piece. 6 buildings, 6 floors, 24, 240 quid. Somebody's bought, even if you said 150 quid, and I've got these for 20. Yeah, a little bit of work. I've got no problem in buying secondhand stuff. And to be honest, most of my stuff is secondhand. Those DB coaches, secondhand, that little steam, secondhand. It's not very often I'll buy a new off-the-shelf item. And I'm actually more inclined to buy stuff like this because I know it's not going to end up in the bin and I shall make good use of it. But yeah, really, I'm just pretty stoked, especially the condition. And there's the chimney sort of popped off there and stuff, and this one's got a loose roof, but yeah. Couple more minutes of waffle and then we're going to go to the shed and show you my dilemma. Quick shout out to Andy Hot Dog Pilot 63. I'm going to put a link into a video. He's got a couple of, I don't know how much it cost. I'm sure that it was expensive, but in my opinion, well worth the money. Got steam generators and yeah, it's really nice. I really like the Hudson. That was a really nice loco. They're both nice, but the Hudson definitely edged it for me. I will give a shout out to Timbersurf, who sorted the satellite dishes. My brain's just scatty. I see something, I think, oh yeah, I'm going to need that in the future, and then I forget where I bloody saw it. And I just couldn't see any on eBay. I didn't even know Backman did them, but I'm quite glad that I gave my money to Timbersurf and he had them sorted and they're on their way, and I will give him a shout out in my next video. So we've got the satellite dishes. I need a few people on the balconies, maybe a couple of guys drinking some beers or something. But the colour's really nice, perfect colour for the old sort of Soviet under the thumb rule in Poland. There's still many buildings of this colour. You might even say prototypical. You guys don't know how much I hate that word. I absolutely hate it. No, it's not prototypical. Yes, you want it as seriously. It's just you make it as realistic as possible, unless you get everything exact and how it was. Gosh, I hate that word. But anyways, all Hagen kits, multi-family houses. There are 4 kits. I brought 1, sides were missing. So I decided to buy 3 more. I got them from Model Barn Lippy. I used my MSL points, so I got them for more or less for nothing. I only had to add a little bit of cash and postage. Got the roofs all weathered up and stuff. Looking, yes, very, very, very Polish for the time and era. Poland does have a huge problem with graffiti. As done, especially sort of the 80s and 90s, a bit like the UK, but Poland's like really bad for graffiti. I know some people don't like it, but it's just part of life. And like I said, I want it as realistic as possible. And yeah, I think you agree. They look really nice. We're gonna have a park in the front here, and then obviously the tram lines running in you know, sort of past. I have got a, I did buy that brand new Audi, which will be sort of on the side of these flats. I've got 2 boxes of those sort of older type housings. I've got some, obviously you just saw the second-hand bundle ones. I've got some other second-hand stuff. So I think I'm good for enough buildings for the city centre now. So just things like retaining arches and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, all the niggly bits, you know, pathways and all that sort of stuff. I've just got to get. But I think I'm ready to, you know, once the move is ready to get the sort of city centre put together. So I'm really looking forward to it, and having the trams running along the front of here. I said the Audi will sort of go in this area here. I did just quickly show you the paints. This is rail match concrete for the main sort of carcass. I've got a red brown, which I use for the bottom there, and I've got a orange brown, which I use for the top, and then obviously weathered it with weathering powders. But again, not bad for a bloke that's got no fingers, eh? I say it took me flipping ages, but you know, I really did actually enjoy making these. Really, I've got to say, one of the sort of most favourite kits that I've actually built to date. I really went together really well. I didn't have much Tourette's with it, so it was really good. So I think what we'll do now is we'll go to the shed, show you a bit of dilemma. I have started work, so I think I've sorted it on the military sort of base. I have started work on it, and I think it's going to be a sort of interesting section. And yeah, let's go and have a look at that, shall we? Cheers, guys. Okay, we're up in the shed. So, a little bit of comedy for you. I can let you know what the idea is for the next board that's going to go next to the waterfall, sort of to the left of it. So the waterfall will go in the corner. Now, that river will run into a biggish lake. There'll be an island in that lake. I'm gonna have like a band playing or something like that with a little jetty, and then sort of some seating area or grass verge on the other side, you know, where the sort of spectators will be sitting and watching the band play. And then there'll be a fairground, and I've started with the fairground. And this is my first item that's arrived. Obviously, it's second-hand. Look at the size of the box, though. This was all that was in the box. Was that? It's got a LED light inside it, but I mean, and do you know what made it worse? Not that the fact that it was just a huge box of such a small item, but I got another item from this guy, which was a town hall. So it was, you know, a biggish item, but I'm sure that there was space enough to put that. And I brought them at the same time. You know what I mean? I'm sure there was space to put that in with the town hall. I just, yeah, that's just bonkers. I think the guy was having a bit of a laugh, really, but that was all that was in the box. Just crazy. So we're up in the shed. My dilemma was, I put this down on the floor, and obviously that piece that stood on its side was here. It just wasn't enough room because I got both my feet missing. If I was kneeling, my feet would give me support on my spine, and 10 minutes and I was done, like, you know. So I put it on this table. It is kind of, you can see my wheelchairs, it's kind of the rough height. I'll get onto the spray in a second. So I've basically taken all the delicate bits, like on that piece there, all that forest that was on there. I've taken that off and packed it away. I've got a few more trees to take off on that piece, but I'm sort of packing, always a cough in the videos, but I'm packing the stuff away just for safekeeping, basically. And obviously, you know, if I don't need it, I'm no point to leaving it out to get sort of damaged, especially because I'm a clumsy git. So that was my dilemma. So I put it on the table, and I think we've got it sorted. Now, I've started already, and seems to be good now. You go, oh, that's a nice tarmac effect mark. It's called Road in a Can. It's all available from all good model shops. Road in a Can. It's right next to the tartan paint, the sky hooks, the left-handed hammer in any model shop. If you can't get it in your model shop, then you can get it off eBay. It's called Aged Iron. It is textured spray paint. People use it for like radiator spray because it is very hard wearing, and got a little bit more just to spray on this end. Got these boards to spray. It is kind of expensive, so you know, 3 cans cost me like 20 quid. But because I wanted to do, and there's one piece completed already. So it's a nice tarmac colour, and you know, if you haven't got too much to do, then you know it's got a good effect to it. You know, and once I get the road markings on there and everything, it'll be pretty smart. But yeah, Aged Iron. Word of warning when using this, and no, I'm being serious now. No dad jokes, but please, if you can, use it outside, or at least in a really well ventilated area, because it stinks to high heaven. It really is quite toxic smell to it, so it's quite horrible, and it does, as you can see on the wall, you know, I'm not bothered about the wall because I'm not taking this shed with me anyway. And Bestie Brub's having this shed, so it's his problem. He can turn the boards around afterwards. But the other thing is, it you know, if you spray sort of too much in one area, you can get yeah, it's very sort of really quite watery, so it does yeah, it does make run marks, so you just got to be mindful of that as well. But please just make sure you do it in a well ventilated area. Probably best to wear a face mask or something, but it does have a really good effect. So my next thing to do is I'm gonna lay the tracks at the back. It's going to be a bit sort of slow at the beginning, but we will get to, you know, the really nitty gritty stuff later in the video. So I'm just going to do that bit next, and you know, lay the tracks in, gravel them, ballast them, and maybe put a coat of static grass on it. So I just kind of get that area done, and then we can start laying like all the assault, because the assault course is going to be up in that area, and down this end will be the, you know, the kind of stream, really small stream with those few T-72s and the ruined building and the burnout tank and stuff. So it's going to be a really good scene. I'm not sure how far I'm going to sort of go with it, but I'll probably put stuff on loose and then take them off once I've done it, and use the video when I get sort of moved to sort of place them back in the area. Now I've got a few new products to use on this that I've never used before, so really looking forward to that. So it won't be in this video because I'm going to do the scenery, the actual scenery, in the next video, but I'm just laying the base ground basically for the modelling. There we go, folks, here we go. Huffing and puffing a little bit because bloody hard work leaning over here. But what I've done so far, it was a bit of a nightmare actually trying to get these sort of tracks lined up, and I've just literally, you can see, nice, happy days, and that one goes all the way down to there. So what I need to do now is, let me just zoom out. Now I've showed off my statics. I'm going to, because I've just literally just poured PVA on the lines. I was going to go for 3, but I've just opted for 2. And I'm just going to show you for why in 1 second. Just stay with it a second. I'm just showing you everything now. Oh, as you can see, my WWS static grasshopper, it still has the clip elastic banded to the side. I'm going to say this every time I use the static grass, because I don't know why people insist on holding it or sticking it in the ground. You just don't need to. Elastic band it to the side. Yeah, it gives you one hand free to do whatever, pick your nose or eat some galaxy. Just try it. Just try it on a piece of, put a bit of static grass in, put an elastic band around it, and just try it on a bit of cardboard or something, because I don't understand why people are holding it or whatever. Just absolutely no need to. But anyways, that's my rant for the video. But little phrase, army guys all know this, or servicemen all know this. Perfect planning prevents piss poor performance. And it's very true. You know how many mistakes I've made over the years? I've been into this hobby literally since the age of like 3 or 4. I've always sort of liked model railways, but you know, in the past I've done stuff. I've done my scenery, my paper mache back in the day, and then, you know, I've got, say, 4 buildings to put on and I can only fit 2 or 3 just because I just didn't plan it out. So as you can see, I've laid everything roughly out. Let me just point just in this area. I'm going to probably scratch build a shooting range. So it'll go along this area. I think it'll be, I've got enough bits and pieces to make something up there. So it's got that, you know, concrete sort of housing with sand inside. So there's going to be a little firing range just there. We've got our sort of Nissan hut there. Obviously there's going to be fences and lots of small details to come in the future. But at the moment I've just laid it out just to see, you know, how it's going to be. And we got our DXPX there and our sort of barracks. Those wooden planks is going to be like a sort of marshy pond, and then they'll cross and come down the pipe. Got a few obstacles at the back there. That's where the death slide's going to be. So this is all going to be actually raised up, and going to do all the landscaping on the next video. But I just want to just lay it out just so I can see, you know, visualize it in my own head of where everything needs to be, because like that death slide will need to be sort of quite high up. I do have, if you just come back, got some wire just there for it, and most of this other stuff is like the tanks and that are going to go sort of here, and that's going to be the last thing, because when I do this marshy pond, I'm going to use a little bit of resin in there, but obviously I don't want to mix up just a droplet just for there. Obviously there'll be sort of muddy bits at the entrance and an exit of here, and you know where that sort of a ladder thing is and swing, you know, there'll be some muddy bits there, and I'm just going to put again a few droplets of resin around and that. So yeah, I think it looks all right. If you think there's, you know, it could be changed around somehow, you know, you can put your 5 pence worth in. Used to be 2 pence, but obviously inflation, so you know, it's gone through the roof, so it's 5 pence now. Last thing to show you, got a few more second-hand bits for the fun fair, which would be kind of next to the waterfall scene, you know, with a lake and stuff. So I'm just picking up bits that are second-hand at the moment, and then we'll see what's left, and we'll have to buy those new. So on the next one, gonna weather all these tracks in, and we're gonna then, let me just zoom out. Most of that track's just bits and pieces, so but it's not going to be used much, so I didn't want to use the good stuff sort of in this area, because it's, yeah, literally once in a blue moon a train will run down there. But we'll start doing the groundwork for this end, and hopefully I can do that on camera, and yeah, we'll see how it turns out. I'm pretty excited for it now, and then we'll start getting things like this sort of glued down, and you know, I've literally just done the layout of the land just to see how it's going to be, but I've got it in my own head now. I think it's, yeah, it's not too cramped. I've still got a garage and a fuel pump to put in. I think there's enough room for sort of parking area and everything. So happy days, really. So I'll see you on the next one. I hope it hasn't sort of, well, I hope you've enjoyed it, because, yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.